Hi, my name's Mike Peterson. I'm a recent graduate of devCodeCamp, and I want to walk you through my final project. Um, what I chose to make was I made a inventory management software. And the reason that I decided to make inventory management software is that at my last job, I was managing a lot of hardware devices that we were sending out to our beta testing population. And we did not have a good system in place for managing devices. We were doing everything in Excel spreadsheets. And after, 6 to 8 weeks, we'd switch to a new Excel spreadsheet because we were on a different project. And so trying to find out who had what devices over time just became a total hassle. And so that's what motivated me to make this. The technologies that I used Python with Django, to create a Django REST API for the backend. I'm using MySQL Server. And then for the front end, I used JavaScript and React. So without further ado, here is my project. So, on the first page, you're greeted with the login screen. And, I've got 4 users set up for each of the 4 permission levels. You've got the 4 types of users are, you've got the just standard employee, which has access to request additional access on the site or to request inventory. Then you've got a store manager, which can request store stock, additional access on the site, or they also are an employee, so they have access to everything that the employee has. Then you have the warehouse employee that can fulfill requests for items and for stock store, but they can't approve. They can approve employee items, but they can't approve store stock requests. And then you have a warehouse employee or a warehouse manager that can do everything, as well as adjust other users' access levels. And they can even impersonate store managers to file requests on their behalf. So without further ado, let's log in and let me just show you, I'll demo the employee real quick. And UI is pretty bare bones at the moment, but it is functional. So this person has 4 products already checked out. They have a Jasper checked out. You can see that this one is pending check-in. So it is actually one that they've reported they've sent back. But, they've requested a shipping label effectively to send the product back. But if enough time goes by and they're like, hey, I need to change this, they can check it back in. Or they can say, hey, I actually lost it. And so those are the states that they can change through. And then these are checked out in transit. So these are items they've requested, but they don't have yet. So they can confirm that they have them when they get there. And then let's say that they want to request a new product. So they can go to requests. And let's say that they want, they got hired to the Quartz team. All my products are named after gemstones just because I needed a name. So, and this is an urgent request because they just got moved to Quartz development team. Desk device. And they need 2 of them. So that request is now created. So the life cycle of the request is that the warehouse employee would go to the request. They'd see the open requests, and these are all the current requests. And this person got moved to the Quartz development team. They requested 2, but we unfortunately only have 0 available. So we can't actually fulfill that request. It'll error out if we try to. So we'll just have to go ahead and deny the request because we don't have product available. And so, yeah, and so that's the life cycle of the request, you know, and the person on the floor would go through this and do that as needed. Obviously, if you hit approve request, it'll come up with a complete button like this, that when you push complete, it would assign the products to them. And then the warehouse employee, in theory, should go out onto the floor, collect the products that were assigned, and go back. But as you may have noticed, there were a lot of requests there that didn't have an option. That's because the warehouse employee doesn't have access to approve them. So if we go here, we can go ahead, and this is for the store, and I can actually approve the request for the store because there's 25 available. And then I can go ahead and complete it. And those products are now assigned to that store. As far as managing users, you know, we can go into employee management, and let's say that the employee we have set up is promoted to a warehouse employee. I can go ahead and I can change that here. Or if I need to, I can decide that, you know, somebody needs to make a request for another item. So we can go ahead and request stock. And we need and those are pretty much the core features of the inventory management system. You know, you can go in and you can see, I can upload a CSV of new hardware. Like, so this is if I've just placed a purchase order, I can go ahead and upload a whole bunch of new devices, and that will add those to the database. And then we also can go through and manually, honestly, ideally, I think most of the work done here would be done via uploading reports, but you can go through and manually edit the entire database. And as I mentioned, when I approved the request, these are all of the devices that were assigned to the store when I approved that request, because these should have been new at the time. Anyway, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.